we just got to wait and see. He's a good fighter, but you know, I'm coming with what I'm coming with. In 2011, he won. We was 1-2 in the nation. Now we fighting to see who's the best in the world, and we doing it for a large amount of money.
Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach have clashed on many fronts, with the most significant being their social media clashes. However, more recently, we've seen them clash on several other fronts, including their workouts. As they entered into fight week, Lamont Roach quickly dropped workout footage to counter Tank's footage that was released a few days before then. The boxing world can't wait for Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach, not even after Lamont Roach's comeback against Gervonta Tank Davis.
And, you know, just gotta make him make mistakes and things like that and see if we can open him up and attack his openness.
Now he is going up in weight.
Davis started it first this time, and when Lamont Roach was to fire back, he did it in a devastating fashion, just in time for their fight week. And now, we're left to wonder if Lamont Roach's actions would lead him to more danger against Tank, or would give him the most unexpected result. That'll see Gervonta Davis lose his first fight in his 31-fight career. Lamont Roach Jr. held a media workout at No Excuse Boxing Club in his hometown of Marlow Heights, Maryland, Thursday ahead of his fight with Gervonta Tank Davis on March 1st. A reigning 130-pound world champion, Roach will move up to lightweight to challenge the undefeated Davis for his World Boxing Association title and reignite a regional DC versus Baltimore rivalry that dates back to the pair's multiple amateur clashes.
Hard. Obviously, he can punch. We know that. So that's a thing. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's not deterring our game plan or anything like that.
Riding a 6-fight winning streak, Roach has prepared alongside his father and trainer Lamont Roach Sr. heading into his biggest fight to date. Though this fight has its critics, and primarily because of Roach's inexperience at 135 pounds, the underdog projected confidence. I feel great and I can't wait. Moving up to 135 pounds makes everything super comfortable. There's no stress on the weight cut and I won't feel drained at all. On the amateur rivalry, Gervonta has definitely become a world-class fighter since our amateur days. We were both good as kids, but we've both evolved a lot. I'm going to prove that I've evolved more.
Always been a boxing hotbed. You know, DC, Maryland, and DC and Maryland got.
This me. This is PBC. We got a transcribe out here.
Oh, all right.
Several of Davis's opponents retreat almost from the opening bell in wariness of his power, which Roach wants to avoid. I'm not coming in there with A-B-side mentality. That's a lot of people's first mistake against Tank especially. They've already fallen short before the fight ever starts. There's a lot of stuff that I know based on our familiarity with Tank that we can use, and that I will use to my advantage. The IQ and the skills that I have compared to everyone else that he's fought, it's just levels above. The tenacity that I'm going to combine with it is definitely something he's not used to. I'm bringing the total package. The hard work I've put in shows that I deserve a fight like this. I've worked to become one of the best fighters in the world, if not the best fighter in my weight class. And now I have the chance to prove myself against a pound-for-pound talent.
DC and Maryland got a rich history in the professional boxing world with champions. So
They do.
We're a week out, man. I feel great, Roach said. Just to see this many people out here is only adding to my excitement, and I'm ready to go in there and put on a show. The rivalry DC versus Maryland rivalry is already heating up between Roach and Davis. Roach has lost to Davis twice early in his career, but Roach said it hasn't affected him, and he's excited to represent DC. It's an honor, Roach said. The opportunity I have right now, it's huge.
like that, we're prepared. We're prepared. You know, we spar some bigger guys, some guys that can punch. So, you know, and previously I've been in there with like middleweights, like junior middleweights, welterweights.
Roach's father has been with his son since the beginning as his boxing coach, and he expressed how proud of his son he is. He takes on that pressure like it's nothing. It fuels him, Roach's father said. It's awesome. Words can't really describe it, but it's an awesome feeling. Lamont Roach dropped this footage after Gervonta Davis had dropped his footage a week before, as fans kept prophesying a knockout victory for Tank.
Catch the rim, baby. Catch the rim, baby. Dance with this shit.
The incredible rise of Tank Davis is described in the first episode of Gloves Off Tank vs. Roach by the narrator. The first episode featured Davis naturally as the main attraction for the fight. Ever since I've known him, since he was a kid, his biggest fear was losing, said Barry Hunter, listed in the episode as Davis's trainer. Hunter is best known for his work with two DC fighters, Lamont and Anthony Peterson.
Where goes up, come down, my
Hunter recalled Davis crying at an Adrian Bronner fight because he wanted Bronner's big fight environment so badly. Clearly, quite a few years have passed since this event, but that moment told Hunter that Davis would work tirelessly in pursuit of that desire. And for all the knocks on Tank's matchmaking, critics will say he is ruled by his fear of losing. Given how loath he is to take fights with close odds, his preparation has always shown in the ring, hence his record of 30-0. Gervonta Tank Davis is 30 though, and he says he's had his fill of the savage science and will soon hang up the mitts. First though, business to attend to in the form of Lamont Roach Jr. On March 1st at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, Premier Boxing Champions is the producer of the event. The arc of the Baltimore product Davis has shifted of late, and watchers are not fully clued in as to why.
Sir, come on, quick. Drop those hips. Nice. Come on, give me that explosion. Rip.
The back and forth only added fuel to the fire for a fight that's been brewing for more than a decade. Both men know what's at stake: pride, legacy, and the championship belt. Even with the social media drama, not everyone is convinced that Roach is the man to topple Davis. Boxing legend Terrence Crawford weighed in during a recent interview with Fight Hype, casting doubts on Roach's chances. Crawford hinted that Roach might not have the mental toughness to last all 12 rounds with a fighter like Davis. They might have a little skill here and there, Crawford said, but mentally, they're not going to be able to keep it up that whole fight.
Undefeated? And what champ? Come on, man, tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm gonna come up here where the big boys at. All right, I'll welcome him.
And let's be real, Davis's record speaks for itself. 30 wins, 28 knockouts. He's left a trail of bodies behind him, with names like Ryan Garcia and Frank Martin on his hit list. But Roach isn't interested in statistics. He's preparing to take away Davis's advantages, one punch and one mental edge at a time. He knows Davis loves to break his opponents down mentally before landing the physical blow that finishes them. Roach plans to flip that script, staying calm under fire and using his own game plan rather than reacting to Davis's every move. His motivation for this fight is crystal clear: legacy and life change. The biggest motivations for the fight are being able to show I'm really one of the best fighters in the world, Roach said.
It'd be like, I don't know, it'd be little clips, like you see how like man him was talking and then somebody else talked like his crew. Mm-hmm. That's what get me up. Like that's what make me like, I always want to prove to somebody that I'm like they now.
And the fact that after I win, my life and my family's lives will change drastically for the good. It's a simple but powerful statement. Roach isn't just fighting for himself, he's fighting for his family, for his city, and for the respect he feels has been denied to him. He knows beating Davis would be career-defining. It would take him from being a solid champion to a household name. In camp, Roach has been pushing himself harder than ever. His sparring partners have been carefully chosen to mimic Davis's style as much as possible. They've been throwing everything at him: speed, power, aggression, and Roach has been holding his own. The focus has been on movement, defense, and keeping the fight in the middle of the ring. He knows standing still against Davis is a death sentence, so he's training to stay elusive while still landing sharp counters. His father, Lamont Roach SR, has been a huge influence in keeping Roach mentally locked in. The elder Roach is a no-nonsense trainer who doesn't let the outside noise seep into their gym. Every session is about preparation and improvement, not worrying about what the media or fans are saying. It's all about staying grounded and sticking to the plan. Psychologically, Roach knows he has to stay in Davis's face from the opening bell. Davis thrives when opponents show fear or hesitation, and Roach refuses to give him that satisfaction.
I'm not looking at Lamont the way that everybody else look at Lamont. Like I know Lamont is a really good fighter. I'm not. This ain't no Frank Martin. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's a real good fight.
The plan is to stay calm, stay sharp, and show Davis that he's not intimidated. If Roach can do that, he's got a real shot at breaking down the walls Davis usually builds around his opponents. Gervonta Davis has been stirring up confusion lately with his unpredictable moves. For the past few months, the Baltimore native has made some eyebrow-raising comments about his career, throwing his fans into a state of uncertainty. It all started when, on Christmas Eve, Davis dropped a bombshell that had everyone questioning what was going on. Out of nowhere, he claimed that his highly anticipated showdown with Roach, which fans had been eagerly waiting for, was canceled. There was no explanation, no follow-up statement, just a social media post that left the boxing world scratching its head.
Talk to me about the mental preparation going to this fight with Lamont. Fans, they kind of sleeping on Lamont, but you know Lamont's fighting style. Y'all fought in the past.
People don't know him, but Lamont is a good fighter. Like he ain't no slouch. Like I fought him in the amateurs. Like
naturally, fans jumped to conclusions, speculating that it might be another one of Tank's infamous meltdowns. The unpredictability of Davis's statements hasn't been new, but this felt different. The timing was odd, and with no backup from his team or anyone else, it felt like another episode of Davis throwing a wrench into his own plans. But just when it seemed like the fight might slip through everyone's fingers, Lamont Roach and his father, Lamont SR, stepped in to clear the air. They issued statements reassuring the fans that the fight was still on track for its scheduled date. The whole situation could have easily escalated into chaos, but both fighters managed to keep the focus on their upcoming showdown. Despite the brief confusion, the momentum didn't falter, and now both Roach and Davis are fully locked in for their March 1st, 2025 bout at Barclays Center in Brooklyn.
There's a rematch clause, people, so get ready for 2 fights. But, yes, and after I beat him the second time, I probably would ask the WBA to let me go up to 140 and fight Rayo.
Roach, for his part, was just as baffled as the rest of us when the cancellation rumors started swirling. While fans on social media were panicking, Roach wasn't getting caught up in the drama. During a recent Quanda session on his YouTube channel, he addressed the situation with his usual calm demeanor. A fan asked him directly, "Why did people say the fight was canceled or you pulled out?" Roach smiled, acknowledging the question, and went on to explain his side of things. "Gervonta Davis is like a wild card," Roach said. "You never know what he's going to do next." The 29-year-old Washington native admitted that Davis's unpredictability is something he's had to learn to deal with over the years. He wasn't fazed by the rumors or the confusion. Instead, he's learned to stay focused on what he can control.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's going to go. Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plant's wife, and say, "Who do you want next?" And Tank's going to say, "I want all those guys." And they're going to go to the press conference.
Roach has seen it all in his own journey, and he's not going to let any of Davis's eccentricities throw him off course. Roach knows Davis well enough by now to understand that Tank is his own person, and his decisions don't always make sense from the outside. Whether it's an emotional tweet or a cryptic post, Davis often keeps people guessing about his next move. Roach, however, isn't bothered by the mental gymnastics Tank puts the boxing world through. For Roach, it's business as usual. He has his own fight to prepare for, and nothing is going to distract him from that goal. The mental aspect of boxing is just as important as the physical preparation, and Roach is staying mentally sharp for his biggest challenge yet. "I don't let that stuff affect me," Roach said. It's clear that he's not about to get wrapped up in the drama or the rumors. Instead, he's channeling all that energy into getting himself ready for what could be the fight of his life. Roach knows that beating Davis would change everything for him, his career, his life, and his legacy. But for now, he's focused on keeping his eyes on the prize, letting the noise from the outside roll off his back.
No one's been able to solve Tank Davis. What do you need to do together with you and your team and obviously your son to score that victory?
We got a game plan. We're going to execute it, and we're going to get the results.
Move that head, bob and weave, bob and weave.
As the countdown to their showdown in Brooklyn continues, It's safe to say that Roach is as locked in as ever. His camp is already underway, and he's preparing for Davis in the most professional way possible. Gervonta Davis looks sharp and ready to go, with his weight already close to fighting form. While other fighters like Keyshawn Davis seem to carry a lot of weight during training camp, Tank is staying lean and prepared. Keyshawn often looks more like a welterweight before cutting down to 135 pounds, but Tank doesn't rely on drastic weight cuts to get an advantage. He's a natural lightweight, not someone trying to game the system by shedding pounds last minute.
It's gonna be a party on your floor.
I'm gonna let y'all know something. His father was up here shaking on the what's the name? He was shaking on the
Thank everybody that played a part in it. My team, Roberto Diaz, Gary Jonas.
On my kids, he was shaking on this thing. On my kids, he was shaking. How you gonna say it's cap? And it gotta be. You gonna say it's cap?
Interestingly, Tank's longtime trainer Calvin Ford hasn't been seen much lately, which has led to speculation that the two may have parted ways. Ford has been a constant figure in Tank's career for years, so his absence hasn't gone unnoticed by fans and insiders alike. Leonard Ellerby, who knows Davis well, weighed in on the situation during a conversation on The Laboratory with Plaz. Ellerby reflected on Tank's recent announcement about retiring after 3 more fights, saying he understood the mindset behind it. "I can understand where he's coming from. Things are different when you have kids. It changed your life. It completely changes your life," Ellerby said.
My whole family is from DC. My whole family, like my entire family.
Don't bring them. Don't bring them.
For what?
Don't bring them. I'm telling you.
They gonna celebrate with me. You hear me?
Don't bring them.
It's gonna be a party on your floor.
I'm gonna let y'all know something. His father was up here shaking on the what's the name? He was shaking on the
pops.
On my kids, he was.
Ellerby also pointed out how Tank sees things differently than he did 6 or 7 years ago. If that's what he said, that he's retiring and we all heard him, no, not at all. It's never good enough what you do, and sometimes that can be frustrating. He added that the pressure from fans and the constant demand for more fights can take a toll. There's more to life than something you do for a living. You have respect for fans who pay their money to see you fight, but you have a life outside of boxing. They want you to continue to do this, and they really don't care about your health afterward.
What? Who said that? You said what? You said what? Yeah, that's why I've been waiting for the niggas to talk. How much you want back? How much you want it back? Because I came up here alone. How much y'all want back? How much you want back? Just call it out. Huh? 100? That's a bet.
The future may look bright for Tank, but it's also packed with hungry competitors. Fighters like Andy Cruz, Edwin De Los Santos, and Keyshawn Davis are all chasing him, and it's possible that Tank feels the heat. These are not easy fights, and Tank knows it. If he's confident he can beat them, he also knows those battles will be grueling. At this stage of his career, he may not want to put in the extreme effort required for such high-stakes matchups. Ellerby also shared his thoughts on the brutal nature of boxing and how it affects a fighter's long-term health.
When the people who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get them. I'm gonna beat his ass.
He can't do shit with.
For real. So y'all better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all was quiet, if y'all was loud.
He got the whole hood over there.
Like, twist it up. I don't give a fuck about nothing.
Boxing is a brutal sport. You see a lot of fighters from before, they were taken advantage of in a lot of different ways. They went through a lot of health issues, a lot of permanent stuff. I understand the philosophy that you come into the sport and make your mark, and then you leave it at that. Everybody's opinion is different and everybody has different goals in life, he explained. With Davis's retirement announcement hanging over everything, the big question is whether it will actually be permanent. Ellerby hinted that Tank may not be done forever. It's hard to ignore how popular Davis is and the kind of money he can attract. If the right offer comes along in 6 to 12 months, it wouldn't be surprising to see him make a return. A massive payday could easily pull him back into the ring, especially if the opponent is someone high profile enough to make headlines.
Why was it so easy when he fought Frank Martin?
Frank Martin was inexperienced and nervous. You know, it is what it is. It's going to be a different fight when I'm in there. He's going to be a different fighter when he's fighting me.
What's your game plan?
Whoop his ass. I'm always looking for a knockout. No matter what, I'm always prepared for 12 rounds. But I'm always looking for a knockout, and if I get the chance, I'm going to try to knock his head off.
Premier Boxing Champions released a behind-the-scenes look at Davis's preparation for the fight titled Gloves Off. In it, Davis speaks about his fear of losing, which has always driven him. "I just don't want to look bad come fight night. My biggest fear is being embarrassed, especially in front of all these people worldwide. Then you become this meme. I ain't got time for that. I ain't trying to go out and get my butt kicked. I don't want to be embarrassed. It's a telling revelation from one of the most dangerous boxers in the sport. Everyone always assumes boxers are fearless, but it's a fear of being embarrassed that actually pushes Davis to greatness.
Personally, I thought Calvin would be in the corner. Personally, I thought Calvin would be the lead.
That's likely the main reason Davis fights with such ferocity in his punches. There is anger behind his punches, mixed with the inherent urgency to not lose. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.